Welcome to the Hidden Homestead. My name is David, and today we're going to build this smokeless concrete fire pit. It's not wood. It looks like wood, but it's concrete. So let's get into it. All right, guys, about 6 to 7 years ago, I built this concrete fire pit. It's okay. It could have been done better, and I learned a lot with this one. This is the 1.0, if you will. Since then, I've done a bunch of them for customers, for friends, and I've really kind of learned a lot along the way. The first thing I've learned is the structure itself. When you start out with a base, it's going to last. So that's the first thing that I really learned that I kind of failed on this one. It's falling apart, it's cracking. I use cinder blocks and it's not a good idea. The second thing is the technique of how you use the tools. I learned a lot over the past few years, and you can use very simple tools and get some amazing results. So another reason why this thing's got to go is because it doesn't look nearly as good as what I'm producing now. The third and final thing is the color, the coloring on any piece. It is, in a sense, a piece of art, and you have to treat it as such. So the coloring really goes a long way. Arguably, it's probably the most important part, because if you mess up on the color, it's just not going to look realistic. So all that being said, the first thing that we need to do is get rid of this thing. All right, we just finished demoing the old fire pit, and we're getting ready to set up for the foundation for the new fire pit. But before we get into that, I wanted to ask you guys, have you seen my DIY concrete shower video? It's right here if you've not. The reason I ask is because, one, that is one of my most popular videos, and I received so many different questions from that video. What's your mix design? Where do you get your ingredients? What are your ingredients? Where do you get your tools? How do you make your tools? How do you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that got me thinking. There's obviously a lot of people that want to learn how to do this, but just don't know where to start. If you are interested in learning how to do this, stay tuned to the end of the video, because I'm going to show you how you can do so. It's actually very easy. This whole process, all of vertical concrete, it's actually pretty easy, and I'm going to show you how you can get into it, so stay tuned to the end of the video. Before we get into the video, though, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video. Why did I say I've said video so many times? I want to thank the sponsor of what you're watching now, which is me, thehiddenhomesteadstore.com. So at thehiddenhomesteadstore.com, we sell the hats and the t-shirts and the merch, all that cool stuff. Stuff that I make in the workshop, all that cool stuff. We also have beard oil. So if you're a bearded bastard like myself, you know how difficult it is to buy beard oil online because you never really know what you're going to get. Well, right now we have a sample pack with all 4 of our fragrances. And they're just little sample packs. But if you buy one of those sample packs, you'll end up receiving a $10 off coupon code so that you can come back once you find out which beard oil is your favorite and then use that $10 towards your favorite beard oil. I feel like I made that more complicated than it needed to be. Did you understand?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Anyway, whatever. So thank you, thehiddenhomestore.com, for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's go ahead and get into this video. I said it again. Let's go ahead and get into this project. How about that? Let's go.
Cheers.
All right, so if you stayed this long, you either like looking at my ugly mug for whatever reason, or you want to find out how to do what you just watched. And I'm going to tell you how, but first, just go back a little bit in that video. That guy that I was sharing drinks with, having the virgin burn, he helped me put in the fire pit insert, which I'll tell you a little bit about in a minute. But that guy that I shared a beverage with was the Good Good Beer Fella. Now, he is on Instagram, and if you enjoy beer, he's got you covered, man. Like, he does all kinds of beer stuff, very knowledgeable. If you like to geek out on that stuff and you follow people that like to geek out on stuff, look him up on Instagram. He's pretty awesome. He's fun, and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to beer. I'll leave just down there. You can look him up just down there. Now, as far as the insert itself, I'm not going to go too detailed with that. I'll leave the website down below. That is a Breeo smokeless fire pit insert. Now, Breeo has a bunch of different options, but I like using the inserts because I can build those types of fire pits and then drop that insert in. If you're familiar with Solo Stove, it is pretty much the same concept, but I prefer Breeo because they have the ring and it just drops in and it just looks more professional. It just cleans everything up. Solo, as far as I know, does not offer that, so that's why I recommend Breeo. Now, Breeo is a smokeless fire pit insert, and they have two sizes when it comes to those inserts themselves. They have a number of different models, but as far as the inserts go, they have two sizes. Now, if you're going to do something like this, I would definitely recommend using the smaller insert, which I believe is 24 inches. The one that I use is, I believe, 30 or 32. Now, in my opinion, that is just too big because it doesn't burn efficiently unless you pile a ton of wood, and you are burning a lot of wood. It goes through it pretty fast. Just because there's so much area in there, to really work efficiently and actually be smokeless, you just really have to get it super hot, which means you have to burn through a lot of wood. So I've used and have sold the 24-inch in the past, and so that's what I would recommend if you end up doing something like this. Now, as far as the fire pits go, we went over the fire pit, but you don't have to use those concepts on just a fire pit. So how do you learn how to do that stuff? Well, for the past year to year and a half, I've been working on an online video course. And I basically have broke it down into 3 tiers. The first tier, because everyone that reaches out to me about this sort of stuff, they only really want to know about the mix design itself. So I created an ebook that goes over the mix design along with the process overview. So that's basically the first tier. If you're interested in just the mix design, you can look at that ebook. The next tier is the vertical concrete course itself, which is a 5-part video series. Now, you're also going to get the ebook along with it, and you'll get that 5-part video series that goes over the whole process in detail. The third series is the Elite series. And within that, you're going to get the ebook, the 5-part video series, and then you're also going to get some advanced coloring techniques, a whole video series just on that, to really make your project pop and look more realistic. You're also going to get some pro tips on how to finish and repair your project if something happens to it. On top of that, you'll end up getting a 60-minute consultation one-on-one with yours truly. And that is essentially the 3 tiers that is just about ready to go. I'm about ready to launch it, but before I do, I would like some feedback. So I'm actually having a pre-launch sale for the Elite series. The first 10 people that reach out to me, I'm going to give you the Elite series for 50% off. That's going to go through the mix design, the process overview. Then we're going to get into detail about how to do the entire process, pro tips on how to fix everything. If you got any questions, got any concerns, you're going to get an hour with me. On top of that, we're going to be talking anyway, because the whole point of this is for me to get your feedback. I want everyone's feedback, or the first 10 people anyway. I want everyone's feedback to make sure that it's easy to follow, it flows good, and you're getting good information, and really if it's a good value for the end customer. So if that's something you're interested in, if you want to participate in this pre-launch deal, look me up in email, Instagram, Facebook, or just leave a comment below, and then we'll start talking. I'll shoot you the deets, and then we'll go from there. And again, all I'm asking for, you get 50% off. I just want your brutally honest opinion to make sure that the course is ready to go. So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down button. And then in the comments below, tell me why I'm so dumb and how I could just be a better person and make better videos, I guess. Let's see, like, share, subscribe, all those cool things. Subscribe's free. It takes less than a second. It's right there if you're interested. And then to my Patreons, man, you know what? I love you guys because you guys are awesome. You guys are like the lifeblood of this channel, and you really keep the lights on, I guess, if you will. So thank you guys. Thank you to my Patreons. You guys are awesome. And to everyone else, love you guys too. I love a lot of people. I'm a pretty loving guy. So love you guys too. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Talk to you later.